Hello, my name is Lynne Nielsen. I live in the 12th Ward. So I got an email, we all did, from the stake presidency telling us that they wanted us to choose a name from our family history and do 5 ordinances for that person in preparation for the Lindon temple being completed. When I got the email, I thought, I don't know how to do any of that. I'm just not even going to worry about it. My husband, Dean, got a phone call from his cousin Lee down in the St. George area. He said, "Do you remember our great aunt Verda?" And he said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, let me tell you a story about her." And so he told him that they had been doing research on her. She had been engaged to a soldier years ago. They got engaged right before he went to the war, World War I. And he went to war and died 2 days before the war ended. So when she found out he had died, she was devastated and never said his name ever again. And they didn't know who he was. And so Dean's cousin Lee and his wife and daughter had been on a 3-year journey trying to find out who this guy was so they could do the temple work for them. And they had gotten it all, they did all this work and they figured it out. Wrote a letter to the First Presidency and asked if they could seal them, and they said, yes, you can do that. So he said, so we're inviting you to a wedding down here in St. George, and so we went. And it was wonderful. They told us the entire story about how they figured out his name. And so I got home and I was like, I want to do something like that, but I don't know how to do any of that. But then my daughter Suzanne came over and she knows how to do stuff like that. So I said, Suzanne, can you help me? I want to do this challenge. I told her what we had to do, 5 things. And she said, well, good luck trying to find somebody who needs 5 things done. And so she opens up her app on her phone and I open mine. And she looks at it, she goes, hey, I've got a name. I reserved a name a couple of years ago that needs all 5 things done. And I'll share it with you. And I was like, great. She was able to share the name with me. And I was like, great, now I have to get my hair wet. You know, because now I have to do the baptism and stuff, but that was fine. One day I went to the Timpanogos temple, did the baptism, and then I went upstairs and got the initiatory done. The next day I went to the Saratoga Springs temple to do the endowment and hopefully the sealing, and comes time to go through the veil, and I get to the last part, and I can hardly talk. I have never cried ever going through the veil before, and here I was crying. Whenever I go to the temple and I sit down in the seat in the endowment room, I always think, does this person even care that I'm doing this for them? I totally felt that she was there, and she did care. She was so happy that I was doing this work for her. I had told this other worker that I wanted to do the sealing, and so she came and got me and took me over there, and they added us to a sealing session that was already in progress. Then it was my turn, and so I was the girl and my daughter was my mother. So I was looking at the sealer and he starts talking and I started crying again, and I thought, I can't do this again. And so I looked off to the witness person, and there she was crying. And I thought, this girl is here and she really cares that I am doing this for her. In his house, I feel peace and I feel a calmness there. And especially when I'm doing family names, I feel close to my family.